Hello, 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 hello. What's up? It's Andy here. Glass Half Dead, the #1 kill team channel on YouTube, unless of course you're aware of any other channel on YouTube, in which case ignore what I just said. Thank you, don't look into it. So obviously, the last month or two I've been doing smooth jazz. Really enjoy that smooth jazz, but after this Skulls preview event, I started playing Mechanicus 2 again, so I thought I'd go ahead and hit the Mechanicus soundtrack for today. So there you go. My stream deck's being dodged, but it will start. So firstly, hello everybody in chat. How is it going? How are you? What are you doing? Are you hobbying? I assume you are. The bedrock of me talking for an hour and a half, 2 hours is the fact that people are not able to turn the channel off. So I assume you are hobbying and busy. So Christian Guerrero sent this ages ago, and so I assume he's no longer here, but already crying in Vespid. Have a great day. Thank you, you two. Yes, we will talk about at some point. Hey, if you've never been to one of these before, what on earth is this about? Well, it is about me talking, and that is it. I'm mainly talking to chat because YouTube is a lonely place when you're a content creator, and I don't really get to actually talk to the community particularly. It's very isolating in that regard, and as such, I like this format of talking to people, which is live, obviously. So if you're watching this back afterwards, again, I don't really know why. I think the enjoyment is, you type something and then I read it. That's certainly why I watch other streamers. When there are streams where I type something and they don't read it, I'm like, why am I here? I could watch edited content instead. So that's for me what this is. But hey, we all get different things out of things, don't we? So that's fine. Strokes for folks, as they say. Don't know why I started talking about that. There you go. Oh yeah. So obviously there is a thumbnail and a title. I will at some point talk about that. Normally in like the second half of the stream. So if it's a 2-hour stream, could be a while. There you go. Kaz, hello. Great to see you, and no doubt Eddie in the stream. Good evening, Eddie. Hello, Kaz. Hi. Hope you're well. Life, but sure. Loved the train painting video. Anything to make it take less time. Yeah, everyone has different views on what they want to do with hobby and what level of acceptability comes up for them. I quite like how that turned out, to be honest with you. So I'm happy with it. Obviously, it wasn't finished, right? For it to be finished, I do think you need metallics. You need another washed title together. But then it's done, and I'm cool with it. Maybe pick up 1 or 2 bits, but it's essentially done, and it would serve as the background in a stream video for me, no problem. And that's what I care about more than anything else. Where's the handsomest kill team player? Oh, I don't know. Is he here? Oh. Thank you, Duran. Thank you. You're too generous, sir. Too generous. Evening amigos from Eddie. Kaz. Ooh, color. Yeah, of course. Yeah. This has been my microphone ever since you followed me, Eddie and Kaz, who I shall now refer to as a single entity. It's HyperX. There you go. It's just a USB mic, but it glows and it changes. There you go. You can make it be one color. For a time, I had it just be like the Glass Half Dead color. But then I thought, nah. There you go. That was my only thought. Miko, hello, all early for once. Hello, Miko. Thank you, Ken. Housework. Oh, you want to talk about housework? I've just begun a DIY project. I'm trying to pull up skirting boards, and I don't know how to do it. I think I might have to. I think I have to pull the carpet up, because these skirting boards are not coming out. I need more leverage. I can't do it whilst the carpet's there. Anyway, whatever. That's not kill team. Brian, that was a lot of hellos. Maybe even a quadruple hello. But was it a subscriber only benefit? And that subscriber only benefit is a big... double hello. Wow. Wasn't that wholesome? Truly the wholesomeness knows no bounds to the world of Glass Half Dead. What is a double hello? Well, it's a pleasantry that's given to you twice. Why would you want a pleasantry given to you twice? Why wouldn't you want a pleasantry given to you twice? subscribers only. And you know what? I guess since it's a live stream, I'm going to have to add another addendum to that. People that have liked the video only as well. Harsh words, but you know, in this economy, it is what it is. There you go. And of course, whilst we're doing the double hellos, hey, if you're a subscriber, if you've liked the video, thank you so much. There are other ways to support me. I have a Patreon. You can also do the whole donation thing here on the live stream. It's not why I'm here, but hey, I'm not going to turn it down. But additionally, something that I like to point out to people now is that almost all Warhammer YouTubers, content creators of any sort, have affiliate links. For me, I have affiliate links in the UK to Welling Games and Element Games. I've not sorted out any other country yet because I'm lazy, I suppose. But also I sell. I have affiliate links to various merch things for Kill Team, like different types of cool equipment that you might enjoy. Check out the pinned comment on the description in any video, and you will see all of those. You will get a discount, or at the very least, it never costs you anymore. And if you do support me, that goes straight to my hydration fund, in which case I thank you for keeping me hydrated in this economy. You're too generous, my good sirs and siresses and sirai. Thank you. Hydratus Dominatus. There you go. Also, finally, I managed to get in touch with an artist he finally has a little spot, and he's going to do some artwork for Hydratus Dominatus. There you go. So that's fun for me. On the sofa, watching on TV, no hobby in sight. Kaz, that's wasted time. Wasted time. That's how I don't hobby here because then I can't do two things at once. I can't talk and hobby, right? But you got to get on it, you know. Niall, wishing I was hobbying, still at work. Disastrous. What are you going to be doing when you're home, though, right? What's first on the hobby bench? What are we drinking today, Andy? Thank you for asking, Brian. Today we have a freeway cola from Aldi. I think it's Aldi. Lidl. They're literally the same. So there you go. Why am I so far over? Where am I meant to be sitting for this bloody camera? Cool. Here we go. Yeah. But now I'm looking all the... I don't like this setup at all. I have to swap it around. Sorry, guys. I don't know why. I feel like I have to sit this way. Right. Now I'm facing this way. And I can sit this way. Okay. I had everything wrong. It was all back to front. Walking home, maybe Total War Warhammer later? Okay, oh, delightful. Oh, sorry of mice and men. Hobbying some world eaters. Also, hello from Florida. Hello, Florida. Hope, I don't know, the Gators haven't got you or something like that. I don't know. Interesting. Some world eaters, are they for Kill Team? You doing an AOD Legionary World Eaters team? Or for the big old 40k? Another night of model building. Love to hear it. Can't hear any music yet. It is going. It's just very quiet. Very quiet. I could always turn things up. Let's go back to the smooth jazz, right? See if that... Yeah. I like to stream you on my wireless speaker while I'm naked in my sauna. Your voice is my wellness track. I'm glad to hear it, you know. We all need to relax in our own ways. I, of course, am not of the sauna culture. You can't be in the UK. That's not a thing. It's not a thing. It should be, but for some reason we don't do it. Because we're uncultured swine, probably. Nick, the salamander, a wave to you as well. A wave emoji to you too, sir. No one should start DIY projects. My folks are 3 years deep in a project that was the start of a 2-year remodel with no... So this is only for the game room. I'm putting up like some acoustic walls. But that, yeah. So it's like I'm telling myself, well, it's for the Chan. It'll make things look nicer if I want to use it further in the future. Blah blah blah. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of work for me. I'm not really a DIY guy. So we shall see. I just started to pull up the skirting boards this morning. Sorry, today, like an hour ago. and I have not yet pulled one off the wall. That's how that's going. So yeah. Even thought about getting glass or plexiglass display shelves or display cases. I assume ever. To protect your miniatures from dust. They have some cheap ones in IKEA right now, saving a ton. Yeah, so yes, this thing behind me was cheap, and I needed a background. There you go. So I got this, and I looked at whatever they were called, the one that everybody uses for Warhammer stuff from IKEA, Calyx or something, and they were significantly more expensive than I thought they were. And I was like, oh. Rethinking it now, I probably should have just bought those. Because, yeah, at some point that's all going to get real dusty, obviously. But I think it looks nice. And I'm sure that if I would have so many glare issues if I had, you know, something that would protect it from dust behind me. I'll look into it at some point, but for now, I'm actually not that fussed about dust. I know that a trick, if you have dusty models, because they've been on display, is go and buy yourself like the biggest, softest makeup brush you can find. And that actually dusts things pretty decently. But yes, I do need to upgrade that. Hydratus Dominatus. Ouroboros, good evening, Andy. I'm hobbying on some Shore Troopers. Oh, lovely. I do enjoy a Shore Trooper, I can't lie. I also recently picked up it's the Krennic box where he's got Shore Troopers, right? Yeah, I picked that up as well. They're cool. I like them. They're very cool. Didn't paint them. I assembled them, sprayed them, put them in a box. That's it. There you go. Get links for the US as... yes, Dante, the majority of my viewers are US based. Yes, that is correct. I know. I tried to get one, and they're somebody, I think last week, maybe it was you even, suggested I just use Amazon. And I explained why I didn't do that originally, but yes, I should just get an Amazon affiliate link. I've never set one of those up before. I'll figure it out. I need to, yeah. I'm super busy, but I should do that. Looks like Jane's Workshop is called in the lawyers again. Lawsuits for everyone. Yeah. You know, I probably have a stance that many people dislike, which is that I'm kind of on GW's side. Don't get me wrong, although I am inherently against large corporation, people stealing their shit just isn't cool either. So, you know, I get it. Like, if you remove the fact that it's large corporation, who naturally we do not like, and just say, okay, what if it was independent creator who just, you know, they did a comic book and it blows up and people start making merch for their stuff, and it's like, oh, cool. Oh, but now I can't make that. And that's fine, because one person can't ever do all things, and so they will delegate, etc. We get it. But ultimately, I believe that people that don't care about IP theft are people that aren't creative, and have never experienced having their creation stolen. There you go. Now, obviously, that's on a very individual, personal level. And it's not always the same when you then view it from the lens of a huge, you know, S&P 500 corporation. I do understand that. It is a different thing. But at its core, I think it's still... IP theft is bad. You know, fan art is IP theft? Yeah. But it's one of the ones that we just let slide. Just, it's like, let's ignore that. But yeah, if you commission like 40k artwork and an artist does 40k artwork and like sells it to you, that is technically IP theft. But we ignore that one, as we should, because we want cool artwork. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, starting off strong in today's thing. Those hot takes, I suppose, aren't we? My bad. World Eaters are for 40k, but I did just finish my Goremongers for Kill Team. They've been awesome to play. Ah, yes, the Goremongers. I've played against them once, where I played AOD, and therefore I just dueled and won. And it seemed pretty easy. But I hear they're really good just into everything except for AOD because of dueler. World Eaters are for 40k. No, sorry, just read that. No, I bought some NIS for the MPO kill team stuff. Having the base, not sure where to start or continue. Yeah. So, I mean, you've seen it behind me for months now. Since we saw the reveals for Typhon, I've been painting up random Tyranids, kind of using Typhon coming up as like a bit of inspiration to get some painting done for my Nids, my 40k Nid army. I painted Gargoyles, I did a Biovore and the Spore Mines, I did a Lictor, I did one Gene Stealer. I obviously did the Hormigons and the Swarmers, Rippers, because we know they're in the box, and I already have them, so I can just do them. So, yeah, that's... yeah. And I'm kind of doing them thinking, oh, well, maybe maybe there will be rules, as I've said this before, maybe there will be rules in Typhon for more than just what's in the box. That'd be cool. So there you go. So I'm using that. But then also, there's not going to be Gargoyles. There's not going to be a Biovore. I just thought they were cool models. That's all. So it's just inspiration, you know. Powerwolfen, hello from the Netherlands, building some Vespers for KT at the moment. Hello, Powerwolfen. Where you at? Where you at, my man? I've been to Utrecht, been to The Hague, been to... I only went to Amsterdam like once. But yeah, went to Utrecht a few times. Any thoughts on Varnish? Many thoughts, many thoughts. Yes, what about it? I varnish my models when I can be bothered, and I do it... I think that if you contrast paint, as I do, you kind of have to varnish, as it does seem to wear off easier than more traditional paints. So there you go. It's my hot take. It's not really a hot take at all, I realise, but there you go. In the past, I've used Army Painter, and most recently, I've used Colourforge. Army Painter I had mixed results with, but this was ages ago, to be clear. Whereas my most recent attempt with Colourforge, I sprayed on and it came out quite nicely. So I'm generally happy with Colourforge. You know, I think that's a really... if you have access to Colourforge, I say that's a really safe thing to purchase. Yeah, I just bought some more today. Some Renegade Green. Why would I be buying Renegade Green? Indeed, indeed, indeed. Perturabo, Lord of Iron, Blade Guard veterans without shield as AOD assault intercessors. What do you think? Why take the shields off, my man? They can... I think all of them have an option to have the shield on the back. Shields are awesome. Like when I saw the Wolfen in the army set, I do think a shield elevates a Space Marine. Because it's so dumb, right? Like, just... it doesn't make any sense. But I love it. So, when I saw those Space Wolves with shields, I was like, ooh, that's another AOD team right there. But specifically the shield ones. I don't want the other ones. So I'm planning to take Pathfinders to LVO. I have custom models. I just need to do hobby and paint them. We have a long time. So, I believe in you. I reckon you can get it done. Nice. You built your shore troopers but didn't paint them. What you're saying is you were on the cusp of greatness. That you were this close. Yes, indeed. Indeed. Yeah, I mean, look, we all know how it is. We all watched Andor Season 2. We all then went on to watch Rogue One. You know, like, we've all done that in the last month, I assume. And then I might have purchased a few Shatterpoint models. There you go. I will say, in general, I'm, you know, a bit of an Imperial sympathizer, sadly. And so I bought a lot of Stormtroopers because I think they look cool. Stormtroopers, Clone Troopers, I think they look awesome. But after Andor, I'm like, ooh, maybe I could get more into that ragtag aesthetic, you know? Yeah. Pretty hype for Andor. We're not going to be doing Andor spoilers, to be clear. We're not talking about that. No spoilers, spoiler-free zone. I've seen everything, obviously. I assume everybody else that is interested in it has also seen it, but to me, it's still too close. And you don't want to get that spoiled, you know? Yes, I wonder what type. So, assuming, so I've said this before, I have to assume it is mid to late June. So potentially 2 weeks, more like 3. That's my guess. Maybe 4. I do see some people saying July. The reason I don't think it's July is because we have Horus Heresy coming out, and that's the big release, and that should be in July. And I believe they tend to like to give a bit of space before and after that release. The real question is what's coming out in September? Is it going to be a new Warcry? Or are they skipping it? Don't know. That'll be the really interesting thing for me, because I personally don't much care for Horus Heresy. Oh, it's September we get the next season of Kill Team. Must be August then. I don't know. But yeah, June, July, as CL says. Rossagary, yes, I already did the double hello. I said that anybody that is a subscriber and has liked the video gets the official double hello, and of course should use my affiliate links to add to my hydration fund, Hydratus Dominatus. I like Colour Forge too. Yep, I haven't had a bad paint from them, and they seem to be less temperamental than I find Army Painter is sometimes. My local didn't want to sell me varnish because the owner thought it was a waste of money for me. For you specifically? Why? Is he saying your models are shit? Like, nah mate, you want the paint to rub off on these. So I can attach the pistols. Pistols are cool. Pistols are cool. But pistols can be in holsters. I'm just saying I like shields. That's all I'm really saying there. You could do Captain America style. Pistol in one hand, shield in the other. I think, strong suggestion, I think shield and pistol infinitely cooler than shield and sword. Am I right? Even if you disagree with me, you are incorrect. So, but feel free to disagree, but you're wrong. Do you think Space Wolf Terminators would make good Tyranid proxies for the new upcoming Kill Team set? Or do you think there'd be movement 7 and not make much sense to proxy them like that? So, I think... I mean, I assume during that you've watched my proxy rules video. In which case, I did show a Terminator as one of the potential proxies. Again, assuming it's a 40mm base. And you might have to use quite a few rocks to make the correct height for like the prime or whatever, from what I could tell. But I think that's fine. Because, okay, I know that Terminators in the Space Hulk theme are walking juggernauts that are very slow. But also, if you think about how Space Marines are in general, Terminators can't be as slow as they should be. I think they are also very fast. A Terminator is still faster than a normal human, right? But that's standard GW power scaling for you. I would actually I should do this. I should do a video about power scaling. I love power scaling, and thinking about what's different. I think that Kill Team is pretty good for power scaling actually. Because they have more levers to pull, you can get a slightly better idea of how they view things. Right? So, like, for example, in 40k, a Phobos Marine is a 3-up save with +1 inch movement, T4, 2 wounds. An Intercessor is a 3-up save, T4, 2 wounds, 6 move. But in Kill Team, we have a little bit more delineation, and so we can see that there's more of a difference. They have 12 wounds instead of 14. That's big. I like that. Big fan. I like being able to figure that stuff out. There you go. Do you think AP3 teams might make a comeback? Are AP3 teams not currently smashing face? I think they are, aren't they? Andor Season 2, dang it. I don't know why we've said dang it to that. Were you not aware that it had released? Perhaps. I'm in a town in the province of Gelderland on the right of it. If I hear Gelderland, I think Princess Bride. Were they not, like, going through the land of like, Gelder, perhaps? Fire movie, obviously. Space. Yes, I agree, Grumpage. I agree. Yes. Was that a Warcry reference? Warcry lives. Please, yeah. We can only dream, right? So, obviously I know nothing. To be clear, I know literally nothing. I believe Warcry is dead. Or at least they're skipping they're going to skip an edition. I don't think we're getting a new one in August. And it looks like I don't know. Pure guesswork, right? Like, I really haven't paid that much attention to it. But it looks like they've removed products from sale way too early if they're releasing a new thing. I think they're just done with Warcry. I think that's quite sad, actually. But but obviously we don't know how it sold. It must have sold abysmally if they just scrapped the project, I think, which is quite sad. But yeah, they should take it away and redo it, because it clearly wasn't working. So, but it will live one day. Age of Sigmar Skirmish has to live. It's part of GW's plan, right? Their business scaling. Combat Patrol didn't remove Kill Team. Spearhead doesn't remove Warcry, you know? That's my hot take. I refuse to watch Andor, even though I've heard good things. I refuse to be disappointed, so only star thing I consume is DS9. Okay. I understand that, yeah. You know, Andor isn't for everybody. A lot of people like it, but it's not for everyone. It's fair. I mean, you're making a bad choice, but that's your choice to make. I understand that, Miko. I understand that. I suppose I was never into DS9. I was a Voyager guy. Yeah. Every day when I got home from school, Voyager. I probably haven't watched every single episode, but I've probably watched a lot. I used the Fnatic range of Army Painter and I've had some good results. Yes, I hear the Fnatic range is great. I haven't used it because I'm just too lazy. I use contrast paints. That's all I use. So, you know, but as I've said before, if I were to buy into a proper paint range, 100%, it would probably be Army Painter Fnatic. Yeah. I wish Warcry wasn't dying because I find the AOS Warcry sculpts to be so beautiful and I want my fantasy skirmish game. Totally agree with you, Mice and Men. It's a genuine shame. But then I can't really say much about it because I didn't support it. I didn't support this new edition, did I? So, there you go. Oops. Talking of skirmish, Sigmar though, I was just invited to the Warhammer World Age of Sigmar tournament, July 19th. And I'm like, it doesn't make any sense for me to go. I haven't played any Age of Sigmar, so why would I go? But I have armies. And like, why am I currently churning out 40k army painting when I could churn out an Age of Sigmar army and then put that on the table in a month and a half? That could be a fun little project. Paint an army and or additionally learn a game in a month and a half. Cap it off with some age with a tournament. Interesting. Could do that. Don't know which army I'd play. I do have completed armies. I'd probably do Stormcast though, and just use it as an excuse to paint my Stormcast ready for July 19th. And I could like learn and play the game as I'm painting it, you know. Don't know. But I also like Seraphon, and I like Lumineth. There's no way I'm going to finish painting a Lumineth army though, so don't do that. But yeah. There are options there. I might be persuaded to do that. Shields are cool. They are cool. Chaos Cult is the biggest test of liking painting models. Really? Just wanted to complain. Fun team to pilot, but paint. Okay. I smashed mine out, as I do all of my models. Super quick. But fair enough. To each their own. Yeah, if I didn't find them too hard, but that's because I don't try ever. That's on me. Yeah, that's my bad. Now that I think about it, that's my bad. Double shields are best. The wall. Hell yeah. Rock on. 20 minutes late this time. Not too bad. Not too bad at all, Caveman Dan. Thanks for joining. If you read this comment, you will soon realise this comment isn't worth reading at all. It even had a typo. So, thank you for that. That truly was worthless. Sorry, I meant AP4 teams making a comeback. I don't know. Raveners. They're a 5-model team. If anything's going to be APL4, it's going to be Raveners, right? But, maybe. If they're not APL4, then that means APL4, a whole APL4 team is out. But we could have APL4 models. We haven't seen it in the new edition, which is a real shame. But we can assume that if a Custode ever does release, it would be APL4. Even if it is, you know, one of these, are they called Black Shields? That's the Deathwatch thing. The thing where they're too old to be a Custode anymore. So they walk off and go die to chaos. Lost Shield? I can't remember what they're called now. But that would be the APL4 model, right? And that'd be awesome, obviously. That'd be sweet. But beyond that, I don't think we're ever going to get an APL4 model. Obviously, we have the Broodlord. It's just there. But, yeah. Better. Don't know. I would like an APL4 team. No, I wasn't aware, but I also don't have Disney Plus. Oh, well, there you go, Chase. There you go. Season 1 took me 5 episodes to get into it. It's a slow burn. Yeah, for sure. Season 1 Andor, I had on the second monitor. And, yeah, I didn't really care. First few episodes, I'm like, whatever. This season of Andor, I definitely was deliberately paying more attention because I knew it's like we've only got. Well, actually, I thought it was only 9 episodes, but it's 12. It's like we've only got 12 episodes. Let's hang in there. Let's actually pay attention. I only get to watch this once, and I managed to get through it spoiler-free, apart from one thing, which is annoying, but whatever. It's fine. I can't watch Andor. Disney Plus doesn't play video on my really standard machine. Oh, how weird. Only way I can watch is to get my brother to restream it. I didn't even pay for this. Oh, how annoying. Hard Mode Boss says hi. Hello, Hard Mode Boss. CT7479 says, hey, Glass. I say, hey, CT7479. Are you into Necromunda? I started playing it a couple of weeks ago, and I was surprised by the narrative element it has. Not as tactical as KT, but definitely fun. Yeah, conceptually, so I have like one of every gang, unpainted, because why would I paint something, right? However, I've played like one game of it ever. So everything else I'm going to talk about now is a little bit, you know, guesswork, perhaps. I like the core of Necromunda. Like, at its foundation, at the base rock level. I think Necromunda is a fun little game. I don't like that you fall over constantly. That's really annoying. And I think unfun. Everything else, great. Beyond that, it's a bit... I don't know, like... It's cool that there are so many options. But if you... then, like, go too deep and far in it, apparently it's very easy to break the game. Which means that to play the game, you have to have an understanding between you and your opponent. Which means you have to play with friends. If you don't play with friends, you're going to hate it. And you both have to be on the same wavelength of, like, I want narrative. If you're trying to break the game, then you both have to be trying to break the game regardless of narrative. Like, a while ago, I played some Mordheim. I was Skaven or whatever, into Dwarves, and I quite deliberately wanted to die. Oh, my Skaven. My Skaven wanted to die because the fun for me in such a non-tight game is to roll injury rolls afterwards and say, oh, this guy's got a broken leg now. That's fun, right? There you go. And so I could totally see myself doing the same for Necromunda, but if I then play somebody who's like, my enjoyment of this game is that I can take all the crazy things and break it and make the most powerful thing because it's not very well restricted, to be fair, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to hate playing against you, and I will then hate the game and never play the game again. Quick interruption from Grumpage, £5 super chat. Thanks for all the content and opinions, quite grounded. Also don't seem to know how to super chat with a message. Thank you so much, Grumpage. That goes straight to the Hydratus Dominatus Hydration Fund. You're too much of a gentleman, my good sir. And indeed, we do indeed have APL for models. I did cover that, but you're right. Building Arbites right now, which operatives do you take? They have list building and it's scary. Yeah, so Arbites are definitely one of those teams where it's tough to make a one box. My understanding, I'd have to bring it up actually. What are the rules? If you can't tell, I don't know. There you go. Off the top of my head, I don't know. I've played into Arbites a couple of times, but I'm not like super hot on them. Exaction squad, there we go. So let me count this up. So how many subductors can you take now? So 4 subductors, 2 gunners. But you might not actually take 2 gunners, I think is the big thing now. Like, you'll take a grenade launcher, maybe a Weber. And then, but the problem then is how much you take of everything else, I believe, is kind of dependent on the enemy. If you have to build a one-box team, I think you build 4 subductors. You definitely take your dog and leash master. They're really good. You obviously take your leader with a shotgun. And I guess a grenade launcher, a Weber, and 2 other things. I don't know. And that's it. So yeah, don't know. Pass. There you go. Yeah. Thanks for the comment. I'll agree with that. Thank you, Grumpage. Are you playing them with Inquisition or just them? Good question, John. Good question. I forgot Inquisition existed. They're right there. But I've never played them because I don't like them. So there you go. Swennel says, hi, Andy. And I say, hi, Swennels. Thank you. Thank you. What are you hobbying? If you're not hobbying, why are you here? There you go. That might have sounded a touch aggressive, but there we go. But it's really aggressive against myself. I don't understand why people would watch me if they're not literally unable to change the channel. Because they're too busy hobbying. I made Arbites, had to onto eBay to buy a couple more, make all specialists and fill with cheap eBay if you need. Yeah, so what I did with my Arbites, I've got them again. This is my Inquisition shelf. I've got Inquisition, Arbites, Kassakin, and then behind them I've got Vet Guard and Breachers, right? So I did exactly that. I had gone out and bought the Necromunda box, which is, I can't remember exactly what they're called, but it's the Palanite Enforcers box, but they're not the Enforcers, the guys that have shields, okay? And you get, build 4 of them with shields, and that means you free up 4 slots from your Exaction squad to be whatever you want. Then, because I started building them before they released, I also built my gunners as Sisters of Battle models, because I must have just had them. So my gunners are Sisters of Battle. My shields are Necromunda guys, which meant I then had enough models to build every option from the kit, because I didn't have to waste 6-bit models on other things. So sorry about that. Soz about that. Do you miss the campaign rules for Kill Team? No, I don't. I never really played the campaign rules in the last edition. Or in 2021, I mean. Wait, no, I literally never played them. So, there you go. Yeah. Not like I played it once and didn't like it. I literally never played the campaign rules. Now, if you mean from Kill Team 2018, that's a different question, but I also didn't really play those. So, there you go. Yeah. Surely take the Cyber Massive. Yes. I believe I did say take the dog. But Eddie is right. You have to take the dog and the Leash Master to go with the dog. Controversial or not opinion, Octaris is the best Killzone they've made yet. Octaris was a good Killzone. There's no doubt about that. Was it the best Killzone? Probably. But I've got to say, although I have issues with Volcus, and although it's very skewy, I do really like Volcus. I think it's very cool for how it, for like, just for themes and vibes, you know? Yeah, I think it's really cool that we get to play on a proper ruined city. Imperial ruined city. Like, yeah, so... yeah, there you go. I think Volcus is really cool aesthetically. Now, was Octaris better for gaming and for play? Probably, yes. I think. But again, it's all about skews. It would be weird to say, oh, well, I don't consider Gallowfall the best Killzone purely because it doesn't have vantage points. It'd be like, well, okay. But like, you know? So, yeah, I don't know. Tough one. I'm just getting 2 boxes, hate feeling like I'm taking worse stuff because it's what I have. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, there you go. That's probably the best way to do it. And I believe that if you ever move to 40k, for some armies, they are good. Although that might have been 2 years ago that they were good. I don't know. They were a very cheap 5-man unit for a time, and they were in every single list. I think that's gone, but yeah, there you go. Hello, I'm here. Hello, Blitz0012. Good to see you. Arbites' weather is mad good. Doggo and Handler and Medic is great. Vox is your +1 APL, and Spotter makes your marksman stupid. Untested. Spotter? Oh, you mean Revelatum, right? It must be that dumb name. But yeah, okay, right. Yeah, Revelatum. Cool. Good to know. Good to know. Again, I've played into them. I can't even tell you what the opponent had. So that's how little I know. But don't much like Octaris. Light terrain isn't really is real terrain. You see, I get what you're saying. But I think that there is a distinct lack of light terrain right now, which in itself is a huge skew, you know? Yeah. I don't know. I think the Volcus with the compound siege added is a very strong contender. I don't know if it was you that said, Andy, but I genuinely think that Volcus was incomplete until the compound was added. I think that was not me that said. I've never said that before. I feel that's a hot take. I've laid out the compound siege maps. It didn't feel like that changed. Not changed. It changed it hugely. It didn't feel like it was like suddenly. I never played on it, to be fair. I never played on it. But yeah, I like the bunker. The bunker that you can create. The siege compound, I suppose. I probably should play on it. Maybe in the next... in Typhon, we will then have all of the season's terrain. So everything we could possibly have in Volcus, we will have. And we just make one huge ass board. That'd be sweet. And then play on that. I think it'll be real dense. I'm going to be honest with you. But that's fine. Arbites take the cake for most dumb 40k names. Oh yeah, 100%. The fact that I remembered Revelatum is weird. I don't know why. But yeah, Grimfrost says hi, and I say hi back to Grimfrost. Amen. More talking about the full Octaris zone rather than start. Oh yeah, no, 100%. I hadn't even considered we would be talking about the start set. Yes. Yeah. Okay, I've caught up with chat. Let's discuss whatever I said on my thumbnail. What did I say? The title of my stream is "No Cheats Means Your Faction Can't Win?" ? And the thumbnail says Monday Livestream, being honest equals bad team ? Now that is from the Brutal and Cunning set. Siege Compound is a very fancy name. It's like 5 walls and 2 corners. There you go. Right. So, I've been watching listening to some podcasts of late from other Kill Team content creators. And something I've seen said many times, I've probably said it myself somewhere. I've been on YouTube a long time. I've probably said a lot of things, but is the notion that if a team is honest, it cannot then be a good team in Kill Team. And I was thinking about that today as well. And how can I explain this to you? So, an honest team is a team. Okay, I'll explain it first and then get to the issue. An honest team is a team. Miko, of course, has it correct. There are no other content creators. I am the only content creator on YouTube. That is true. It's the walls and corners, yes. So, an honest team is a team that just moves up and shoots you and fights you. And that's kind of it. They probably have a comms and maybe have something else. But that's it. They don't really shenanigans. They don't really mess around. Good examples of these are Kasakin and even what are they called? Vespid, the 2 that I put on the thing. There are many others that are honest teams, we would say. But we have a quick interruption from Durin with 100 sec. Thank you so much. Which therefore I guess means Sweden, as opposed to the other sauna country, which could be Finland, I believe. I would love to see the game allow for more random and organic type of terrain to be used instead of the sterile, straight angles, flat terrain we currently have. I appreciate your content. Thank you, Durin. So I've recently, as my patrons will see, I have a video coming out where I speculate upon the next kill zone, which obviously I shan't repeat here because you've got to go watch it. But if that kill zone rumor is true, then it would also be very sterile and straight lined. And to get away from that, you have to go to something more like Eldari or Tau, if you're thinking of ruins, because that would have a lot of curves. Alternatively, they could attempt something more naturalistic, like a cave system or something, I guess. But I think that it's probably just much, much easier for them to do straight lines, you know? I would love to see more of various things, but yeah. Well, Warcry had trees, you know? We could move away from we need buildings in our game. We could go to something more organic in that sense. Meat trees, you know. Hot take, alternating activations is one of the reasons. I'll very quickly get to the end of my what is an honest team, and then I'll start catching up with chat. So it's a team that just does exactly what you expect. It doesn't have any tricks. It doesn't try to screw you. It doesn't get around, anything like that. And a lot of top players say that if a team is honest, it cannot be a good team. Sorry. If it's honest, it cannot be a top tier team. In Kill Team, to be an S or an A tier team, you need tricks. Now, what is a trick? Because remember that Kill Team is a game of pure open information. The only closed info is the TAC op until it's revealed, and then the primary op until the flip. Okay? Everything else you are supposed to know. And that means that if that is the case, what Kill Team truly tests is not your tactical nous, your strategic, knowledge, it's can you remember every team's rules? Because what is an honest team? Sorry, not what is an unhonest team? A dishonest team is the word, actually. Thank you. A dishonest team is a team that will gotcha you because you forgot it can do the thing. Because if you know it can do the thing, it's not a dishonest team. A lot of top content creators and top players are saying that if a team is honest, honesty meaning you know all of its rules, it cannot be a top team. There you go. All right, I'll get back to that after I've gone on and read some chats. Of Mice and Men, hot take, alternating activations are one of the reasons KT is so great, and 100% of Mice and Men, yes. Don't get me wrong. I don't think that a game has to be just pure alternating activations to be a good game. I think that a game can be good without doing that. However, I think that it is so much easier to just make it alternating activations that they might as well just do that, you know? Credit where credit's due. I would say that, for example, Age of Sigmar has a nice little balance, where... No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I would say it doesn't have to be alternating entire turn. I actually would really like the big games to go to alternating phases. I would really like to see I move, then you move, then I shoot, then I shoot, then you shoot. I would actually like that as like the next step before they go, my unit moves and shoots and charges and fights, right? So I would advocate strongly for alternating phased gameplay. Or some sort of mix, but yeah. Which kill team operatives are so ugly that you would never play with them? So actually, Alexander, this is interesting. I'm currently planning on doing, because I watch, I'm sure you all know, Paul is bad at stuff. He's a 40k guy who loves Centurions. That's his thing. I mean, I say double hello, and I say, right, he does Centurions. I get it. And he recently did I can't remember what it was called, but like best and worst 40k units vibes or something. I was like, that's kind of fun to do. Just go and rank how cool the models look. I was like, oh, I might do that. That sounds fun. So part of that would be I'd have to figure out what are the most ugly teams. And I don't know. I do know. Because I wouldn't just do cool and not cool. I would do cool and not cool based on the core kit they're from. And that means the worst kit in kill... Why is my... Sorry, I'm watching back my play to see if I'm lagging for you guys or if it's just my OBS. I am lagging. Okay, whatever. Anyway, nothing I can do about it. So, the worst kit in the game is Phobos, because they are terrible, terrible, terrible models compared to the original Phobos kit. The original Phobos kit, lovely. The Kill Team Phobos kit, lovely. As alternative sculpts for models that you already like, kind of. And but they stand on their own if the original Phobos didn't exist and you didn't know what Phobos looked like. Does that make sense? So it's the worst upgrade kit. I think that's the best way to phrase it. It's the worst upgrade kit. Yeah. What do you think? It's a good one. Best and worst upgrade to a core unit / original kill team unit. Broadly true unless you're a marine and you can just be honest and good because you have crap loads of wounds and saves and dice. Yes, obviously that is where AOD kind of mess around with that somewhat. I do agree. I prefer to be honest and win genuinely. Although I am learning and if cheated by accident, I let my opponent have some rerolls after. So honest here means trickless. Yes. That is basically how they are using it. It means they don't have shenanigans. Yeah. An honest team is the opposite of that is very true, Blitz. I concur. On even stats, yeah, it makes sense that they have a harder time. Also, we in Finland have Euros. Oh, I didn't know. There you go. Oh, jumped. New Killzone is going to be an Asda at 11 PM. Okay, all right. I'll slide it into the video. I won't. I've already recorded the video. It'll come out in like 2 weeks. But I'll keep that in mind. Forest craters, your mum, all make for less angular terrain. I like that. If I hadn't already done the... you guys are coming up with some good Killzone material that I could have easily slid in, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Oh well. It's too late now, but that would have been good. I've been away from the hobby and YouTube for a month due to work, but I'm currently browsing and catching up on newer videos, and now I've seen the recent proxy video. Oh yeah, okay, great. There you go. I see why my question about the space turtle with proxy was redundant. Yes, I did cover it. Yeah. Academic Chris dives in with the Hydratus Dominatus just as I took a sip. It's fated. And Chris, I assume that you've seen my artwork. Yes, my Hydratus Dominatus artwork. If not, check the Patreon Discord. You'll see I posted a sneak preview. There you go. That's coming. At some point, that will be a thing. I see why. Yep. Duran, how's your triumphant return going? Anything epic? Do let us know. Oh, there was a gotcha made famous on stream with, as the opponent was asked if they had damage mitigation, then suddenly used just a scratch. Yes, Grumbage, indeed. Again, it was a little bit more than that. You know, I obviously did a video covering it, but it was a little bit more than that. And obviously, I recently had Sammy on, who was the guy that got gotcha'd in that instance. So, having spoken briefly to both Sammy and Chris Backey, they're both so shocked about how much it blew up, which is quite amusing. Well, it was really just a Reddit post and then me farming drama clicks, but, you know, whatever, it's fine. Yeah. Luckily, neither of them are too online, so I don't think it really affected them, but, yeah. Yeah. But it's really interesting. But, like, how far do you go into... You know, at what point am I asking you to play the game for me? And then what is kill team testing? Is it testing team knowledge? Well, right? Like, it's not fair if I move up and say, okay, I've moved here. Tell me every ability you have. What can you possibly do now? Right? Like, that doesn't make sense. That's not how the game should play. I was like, yeah. And then there's also a difference between what I can do as a casual scrub playing in the pub after work versus what you can do in the 9th round at LVO, right? Two totally separate situations, and how we apply things to ourselves and how we would want them to be played against us and think of it that way, totally different to the situation at hand. Anyway, I would genuinely say go and watch my LVO drama video where I do cover that, because I think I made some solid points there. I don't know if I came to the right conclusion, but I probably didn't. I'm never correct. That is a thing. Bit of my USP, unique selling point. Never correct. Deliberately so, because of course, if you ever watch one of my battle reports, every comment is literally just people correcting the rules I got wrong. And you're thinking, oh, that's a bad thing, isn't it, Andy? No, because otherwise there would be no comments, and that's engagement. You can't get things right on YouTube, nobody will watch you. There you go. Picked up my 9th kill team. It's the Wrecker Crew. Lovely. Can't wait to engage in the hobby and play some games in June while I am home blitz. Yeah, the Wrecker Crew. I obviously have them right here. This is my current season shelf. I haven't actually played the Wrecker Crew since they released in Brutal and Cunning. Same for the Ratlings, that's on me. But, I'm not going to do it. But if I was to do the Wrecker Crew again, like, because I get hyped to play them, I would do Iron Jaws models. Because the Iron Jaws models are just so much cooler. They're so much more dynamic, and they're just cooler than these models. I don't like these models. I like orcs. I don't like these models. They're too static. What would you change to the Beta Decima map that would make people want to play it? Or should we just forget it exists? Remove the hazardous area. There you go. Just allow you to walk through all of that. That's fine. There you go. Map's fixed. That would usually end in a TO giving a redo if you asked, then did something because they didn't give that info. Yes, John. So, probably... Well, that's the thing. So, in that situation, it would have... There is no issue if they had just said, oh, but I asked... Okay, well, I didn't know, so I wouldn't have done that if you said, I can just scratch a critical. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, you could change. That's fine. Right? But there was a little bit more to it than that. And if you want to be super pedantic, as the internet does want to be, Sammy says, I recently rewatched this just before I had Sammy on for the Vet Guard video. That's why I know this. Sammy says, okay. He says, can you stop my crit? Backy says no. Sammy says, okay, I hit with the normal. Wait. Is there anything you can do? Something like that. Is there anything at all you can do to stop this? And then Backy basically says no, because he's just been told Sammy's going to hit with a crit. To which Backy is correct. He can't stop that. They're just a scratches only against a normal, as all just a scratches are now that the Corsair has been changed. So you got to remember, in that scenario, I have to assume Backy is thinking, oh, he's going to hit with a crit, and yeah, I can't stop a crit. Why would you even think he's not going to hit with a crit? Hitting with a crit was the correct decision to make in that scenario. So anyway, there you go. It was a really interesting engagement between the two of them. And one of which the outcome doesn't matter. It wasn't going to change the game. But it's a very interesting little microcosm of how should the game be played that happens right there. I think and it tells you a lot about the game. I think it's actually a really cool, good thing that people should watch and understand genuinely, yeah. There you go. But obviously the issue with it was that Reddit went mad and said that like Chris Backy should be banned from play forever. So like, that was the issue. That was the drama. Everything else was just fine. Because to be clear, Sammy never asked for a take back. He didn't say, oh, can I change it? And Chris Backy said, no, you can't. Right? Okay, I'm going to move on from that. Because I could talk about that for ages. I find it really interesting. Thanks for the encouragement. Winning main teams. Hoi polloi. Hello, Bruce. Bruce, you missed it earlier. I was talking about removing skirting boards. Do I need to pull up the carpet? I think I do, and I don't know how to pull up carpet. I'll have to figure that out. But there you go. Playing Wrecker as a defensive team is so enjoyable. Okay. If that's a thing, sure. Makes sense, I guess. You're not particularly fast. You need to get hits. Just finished my records, but truthfully I've never managed to get a team fully painted and play a game. Oh, but you just finished your records, so you're almost there. Well, your stream is getting artifacts every now and then, but with your face, it is well received. Just joking. Thank you. Yeah, I've got a face for artifact. I've got a face for digital artifacts. Yes, indeed. I've got a bunch of kill teams. I really only play Vet Guard Deathcore. I'm trying to work on AOD with a Deathwatch team. Nice. I said it in the last time. My current hobby desire is to do an AOD or Legionary. But Legionary's leaving soon, so I guess it would be AOD or maybe Plague Marines. Whatever. A Marine team, and it would be half. Maybe I need to deactivate my camera. I'm going to deactivate my camera because it's really annoying to watch for me. There you go. And let's hope it turns back on, right? Let's how do I, okay, let's turn it off. Let's turn it back on. Okay, maybe that'll fix it. I don't know. Or maybe my phone's overheating and that's why it's doing it, right? And so what I really want to do, and it would be like my fun hobby thing, is I would do Alpha Legion with the torso cut in half and the other half being Death Watch, which to my patrons will probably explain why that artwork, why that Hydratus Dominatus artwork looks like that, because at the time of asking for that, no, my phone's still slow, whatever, lame. I was vaguely thinking of doing that conversion sort of thing, because I mean, you know, what better for the Alpha Legion to imitate than the coolest chapter, right? The Death Watch. More like the Dude Watch, am I right? Night Lords was very pop. Yeah, Night Lords is crazy. It's only just come back in stock, finally, in the UK. So Rumours 11th edition, including launch box, will feature Orcs and Marines. What Orc models? Really? You see, Swiddles, the last thing I heard was Dark Eldar and Grey Knights. Well, no, sorry. The rumour is that Grey Knights will get a refresh this next edition. They didn't say it would be in the starter box. But yeah, but damn, that's coming soon. That's next year. Man, the 40k cycle is crazy. So crazy. Like, yeah, that's absolutely mad, to be honest. But whatever. Who cares? Whatever. Let's not think about it. It's fine. Next year, 11th edition. Great. Yes, it's lovely. Glad to hear it. Unfortunately, Grubbage, I have absolutely no... I'm not that advanced, unfortunately. Playing the kill team, honestly, where's the fun in that? At first you don't succeed, cheat. A pro player, Eddie. I like it. I like it. Don't forget to hit the terrain while you're there. I wonder if we will see Glass kill Brad in kill team again. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't spoken to the guys lately. So no plans. But you know, if I ever head over to Canada again, I will for sure see if I can stop off at theirs or something. Don't know. Obviously, last time we just did TTS, but so what I'm thinking is, because for those of you unaware, I've been on Play on Tabletop where I fought Townick on a Manta, and also fought for patrons only. Which my current patrons can see, by the way. If you want to see a last edition game, I played Legionary into his intercession team, Space Marine Steve. That patron video was the better battle report. Like, if you like Kill Team, go and watch that. You can either have to be my patron, or you have to be the Play on Tabletop guys patron. But you can go back and you can see that battle report. I assume you just type in Play on Tabletop in the search in Patreon. And that battle report is so much more fun and better, and like better edited, etc., than the Manta battle report. But obviously the Manta battle report had spectacle and people would watch that regardless, etc., etc. I get it. But for sure, go back and check that. That was a better battle report. I forgot. Oh, and so the guys, the Play on Tabletop guys, have said I have a standing... What's the word? Introduction? Invitation. I have a standing invitation. If I ever want to head back over there, they will have me on. And so very vaguely, I'm waiting for 11th edition. I won't head over before then, but that's next year, so it's like now. With the notion that perhaps in a year's time, who knows, I might try and do like a 40k channel or something, if I'm that hyped for it. And then, you know, I would go to Play on to hopefully do a 40k and a kill team. Something like that, you know, something like that. But if I did go to Canada again, I would for sure see if I can stop by the lads. That'd be fun. The artwork is brilliant. Yes, I've liked it so far. I've gone back to him and said, can you please remove the IP distinct things? So remove the Aquila and the actual Alpha Legion symbol. But yes. Oh my days, that artwork is Fire Hydratus Dominatus. Yes, yes. I don't know when he's going to do it. He's very busy, but that was his first attempt. He's going to colour it. But I think it's going to be... I don't know what he's going to do. I try to leave it in his hands as much as I can. You know? No, I don't want no scrub. A game in a pub can't get no love from me. Well done, League Speaks. A true poet, a modern poet. What if they made the APL bonus for Wreckers proc on charge instead of fight? That'd be interesting. That'd be interesting. Yeah, I could see that working. I don't know what it would do for the team otherwise. My vague understanding is that Wreckers are a strong team, but they are almost guaranteed to lose 50% of their games because of Gallantfall. So, yeah. But that sounds like an interesting one, I suppose. Love the Death Gore model. Right, that's a conversation with somebody, not me. Goremongers have a crit just a scratch. Do they? You're right, they do. The bastards. I want that removed. Hate it. It shouldn't just be one team gets to do it, right? Have everybody... Just have just a scratch normal. Have it just be the same for everyone. Luckily, I think the Goremongers do need a nerf. People are generally saying, so we probably will see that. I do love my DK models, but I currently run the kill team with Cadians. I think Cadians look awesome. I've got to be honest. Yeah. Fascinating, very creative. Pull up carpet, start in the corner. Yeah, I have not done that. I feel like... yeah, okay. I have to be at a point where I'm ready to actually just put the wall panels up if I do that. And I am not there yet, for obvious reasons. Those are heavy. I think each slat is like, or like each tile is like 13 kilograms. They come in boxes of 4. I thought they were going to be super lightweight and flimsy. Jesus, they are not. I can't get them upstairs, so might be calling on you there, Bruce. Just to get them up the stairs, Jesus. Yeah, Kill Team is pretty good for encouraging cool kit bashes and custom builds because there's more importance in each model. I agree. I agree. I agree, I kit bash my blood. It's an interesting one on that, actually. So, I agree that the notion of conversions in Kill Team makes a lot of sense because they're your guys. However, in 40k, you don't really get these kind of proxy rule videos because there's so many models. It doesn't matter. Just do whatever. It's on the right base size. Okay, that's a Marine. Fine. Doesn't matter. And so, yeah. Whereas with us, because there's 6 models, it's like, well, no, I need to know what model that dude is. You know? Whereas in 40k, it's like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. Yeah, because there's so many, they always get lost in the noise. Lost in the vape. Lost in the vape cloud, you know? People have been wishing for an Orcs vs Marines launch set for 11th edition because that'd be a callback to the cover and sample scenario from Rogue Trader. Oh, okay. I mean, cool. Do Orcs need a refresh? Orcs have a lot of new kits already. I don't see them getting a full range refresh. There are other... I'm calling it now. It's not Orcs. Doesn't make any sense. Okay, well, Eddie, you mispronounced. Or you typoed the word, trying to catch me out. That did not work, sir. That did not work. Thank you, Blitz. Have a good one. Yes, we need you back on Mountainside Tabletop. And make them let you speak this time. Did I not speak in the last one? I know I did. Is that a joke? I haven't watched it for so long. Is that an in-joke? I don't know. Or did I just not talk much? That's their editing. That's their editing, not my bad. They did cut out my swearing. I remember that. I should sell my Drew Carey. I should sell my Drew Carey. I've got so many good deals on eBay. I don't know what the Drew Carey is, to be clear, but... Right, and soon they will be legends. Drew Carey. Okay, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. Yeah, they're just going to legends the whole army. Just roll it into the Eldar Codex, because nobody buys that crap, do they? Jeez. Canada still stands. Litany of precursive maintenance. Yeah, I need some help. I was talking about Brad from Mountainside. Yes. Do you use stronghold columns in Volkus's cover? Stronghold columns? Oh, yes. Yes, we do use it so that you can tow in, for sure. Because that's how the rules of the game work. Yeah. Yeah. I've never played it without doing that. It would be quite interesting. Yeah, it'd be quite interesting. I don't know how Volkus would play if you can't tow in along the walls. I assume some people do play it that way. I will say I would be totally okay if that was how the game played. That'd be fine. Ian, hello, hello, hello. Late to today's things. That's how life goes. How are things? I'm keeping it hydrated, as always, as one must. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. I did briefly, Ian, talk about the title and thumbnail already, which is pretty much a record for me to actually discuss the topic before 9 o'clock. But then I didn't really finish my point. I just kind of said the issue, and then I didn't go on to make a point. So maybe that will happen once I catch up with chat. I don't know. I opted for a hobby in Plague Marines. Lovely. Love some plagues. Love some plaguey boys. I painted my plaguey boys ages ago, obviously, but have never played them. Don't know why. Should probably get on that. When new catch can arrive, maybe it's a little lame, but I hope they have a similar just scratch ploy, like I ain't got time to bleed kind of feel. I get what you're saying there, Eggy. I get what you're saying. I don't think they will actually take a line from Predator, but I agree that would be quite cool. That'd be quite cool. I would be into that. If they kind of memed the Catch-Chan team, that'd be cool. Kassakin is how I would pronounce a correctly spelled word there, Eddie. But the way you've spelled it, I would pronounce that Carskin, because it's incorrectly spelled, yes. Stormboy's Kill Team is probably going to be in Kill Team 4th edition. Maybe, yeah. Yeah, I'd love some new Stormboys. You know what, though? The current Stormboys, quite a fun kit. I will say. It's one of the older Orc kits that I think holds up. I think that the old Orc boys do not hold up. They look terrible because of the weird pose. You know, they began, oh my god, I can't even, twerking, that's the word. They began the twerk craze before TikTok found it, you know. But, yeah, really weird poses. Yeah. I didn't speak, they had Vic narrate your moves. Oh, okay. Yeah, they did. Because all of that was done when I wasn't there, obviously. So on TTS we played the game, and obviously they just wanted to capture the banter between me and Brad, but they didn't. But my understanding, I assume from their workflow, is that they record the game with full banter, and then they go back, and obviously Vic, Brad, whoever, just says, and this is what I did. And so they have the footage of what they did, and they then just say what is happening on the screen. And so essentially there was nothing, they didn't want to have the additional editing hassle of having me saying something out of sync with when it happened on, because it would almost add another, like a second time they would have to go back through all of the footage just to get me saying that, which would be ridiculous. Playing through the AOD starter set scenarios and the rules intro is pretty good. Are there any better rules intros other than your vid? Ooh. No, that's pretty much it. If you've played through the core, the starter book, and you've watched all of our various channels having done the starter, of which there are 4 like core kill team channels that have done you know, how to play, starter guides to rules, which you should probably go through all of them if you're trying to figure it out solo or whatever. Then that's really it. After that, you just got to start playing the game. I do think, yeah. But of course, if you have specific questions you don't yet understand, check those out. Like, ask those specifically. But I think that once you've gone through the whole training routine of the starter book and watched every of these videos, you just have to play the game. There's no kind of, like, you're there. You've graduated basic. Time to be not basic, I suppose. Be patient waiting for Typhon for weeks now, bro boy. I feel you. I feel you. When are those nids going to start suckling upon the teat of the player base is the question. I think we can all agree. I mean, mid to late June is when we believe. Maybe July. But that depends when Horus Heresy drops. It's all a little bit up and down. We don't know what's coming first. Is it going to be Typhon? Is it going to be Horus Heresy? They generally like to have a bit of space between the big releases. Do they count Typhon as a big release? Or are they going to release Typhon and then next week, Horus Heresy? We don't know. We don't know. Is there going to be enough Typhon for everyone? Like, literally every single Tyranid player kind of has to buy Typhon. I imagine that's quite a lot, right? Because it's not just the Raveners, which all the players will want. It's also the only place to get Tyranid terrain. And as we know, if you want 2 things from a box set, you have to buy that box set. And then you eBay the team, the thing that you don't want. Which means that we're going to have lots of Typhon rules and whatever, and accoutrements. And AdMech teams. They're just going to flood eBay as every single Tyranid player buys Typhon. So good luck getting your hands on it, is all I can say. In terms of your Orc kill teams, what was the inspiration to give them blue skin, if you don't mind me asking? Off, quite curious. Yeah, so back in Kill Team 2018, I began a Orc team. And I wanted to use custom models because we didn't have the new Orc Boy kit, which looks awesome. So I was using the RTLW Commando Boys kit, I recall. And to go along with that, War Machine has a faction called Trollbloods. And in that faction, they're generally like Scottish Highlanders type vibes. But some of them are like, they're trolls with modern military guns, and some of them are like highwaymen who have cool trench cloaks and pistols. And so I took the few Trollblood models, and they were going to be part of my, like, you know, along with the RTLW models, the War Machine trolls were going to be part of this, like, totally no GW. I think I had one looter. I had one looter boy and a burner boy, I think. And so yeah, it was going to be a fully Kitbash team. Or not proxy team of the other non-GW models. And I just decided that at the time, in the heat of the moment, I was more interested in the Trollbloods and how cool they looked than how kind of small and meh the Orcs looked. Additionally, I'm red-green colorblind, which means that I never really see how cool Orc skin can look. To me, it's always kind of brown, right? And so I inherently don't like green armies because I can't really see the green. And for sure, I have in the past done like Dark Angel armor. So I do the Dark Angel armor, but then to get a highlight that I can see, it's like luminous yellow, right? Like, and obviously the models are for me. I want to see what I've done on them. So doing like Caliban green and then Strachan green, I don't know, I picked random green there. It's like, oh cool, these are the same color. I can't see that I've highlighted anything. So I have to really push it. And then to everybody else, they look dumb. So, and I know that, so I don't do it. So instead of doing green skin, I went with blue skin because the War Machine trolls are blue. Because trolls are blue, obviously, that makes sense. And yep, just decided my orcs are going to be blue. So in truth, my orcs are not space orcs, they are space trolls. Yeah, there you go. Hot take, I realise. And then I just went with it. Yeah, I just kept going. Just kept going because I hate repainting things. So if I pick a scheme on one model, unless I genuinely hate it, I'm just going to paint every single model that way. Because I don't want to repaint one model. So, did we ever find out why they... Yep. Why they just dumped Blood and Zeal on War Combat one day for some reason? No. Just clearly, we were in a little bit of a dearth of preview places. So it's just, here's Blood and Zeal. There you go. Yeah, alright. I would say, I guess they didn't want to give us too much of a heads up by putting it in the previous one. But Typhon's been revealed for ages now, right? Like, it's been, I don't know. I mean, it was before Blood and Zeal that it got revealed, which was not normal. Normally, they don't reveal the next box till after the previous one has released. That in itself was interesting. But then the reveal before that was like a month and a half before. I don't know. No clue is the answer. But they did. And I will say, Blood and Zeal has not, well, pure guesswork, but I feel like I've seen Blood and Zeal available in like just my local game store, right? Which is pretty crazy that it's still available now. So I guess people didn't like that, which is interesting. I played versus a Warp Coven player yesterday and wanted Typhon as well. You wanted Typhon? Okay. I assume that's because you hope that you can just not have to play Warp Coven again. Very interesting. Thanks to your response. No problem, Maggie. Thank you for asking. Always love to talk about myself, as any YouTuber, content creator will obviously tell you. There you go. Almost done with the Hydratus. I am now done. Oh, and he wanted Typhon as well. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody wants Typhon. Everybody wants Typhon. Yes, sorry. I didn't mean that only Tyranid players are going to want Typhon. I mean that everybody that normally wants a kill team box will want it. Plus N. And in this instance, N means every single Tyranid player. Yeah. 100%. So, at the caught up with chat. So, back to the discussion of honest, dishonest teams. So if we take what I said as true, because it's not what I said, it's just me regurgitating what comp players have said and saying, yeah, they said it. What do you think about that? We have to ask ourselves, we're playing a team where to win, you have to rely on your opponent not knowing what you can do. Does that mean that Kill Team is a game based on information overload? And, like, is that good? Is that a good thing? I genuinely don't know, because I don't think Kill Team is bad. I just think, like, binary, don't think about it. Is Kill Team a bad game? No, it's not. Dig into it. Top players. If you want to be a top player, you got to play a top team. Makes sense. Cool. If you want to win tournaments, you have to play a dishonest team. What is a dishonest team? If you distill it down, it is a team that your opponent has forgotten the rules to. That's kind of weird, right? Or have I oversimplified it, maybe? Is it possible I've taken it to too much of an extreme and that's not really what honest and dishonest teams are? Because I can think of... Or if you want to use a more colloquial term, it's a game of gotchas. If you manage to gotcha the opponent, you win. Because it's such a lethal game, of course that's what a gotcha would do. But I suppose if you want to think of it more in, I don't know, different terms. Terms like... I don't know, I don't want to say that what I'm saying is a negative. But if I were to be more charitable, perhaps, I don't know. I'm lost, guys. I'm floundering. I don't know how to be more charitable to this honest and dishonest teams thing. Is it a good thing? It doesn't sound like a good thing. But then, what is player skill? Ultimately, player skill has to be seeing everything on the board, knowing everything, and then making the right decision in the moment. And we would often call that outplaying your opponent, right? Because you make the right decision. To make the right decision, you have to know every rule. Because you have to know what you and your opponent can do, right? Additionally, know the core rules of the game. I don't know. I suppose there is a slight difference too. So I think the ideal is that, so, you know, let's use, for example, I don't know, Corsairs. If you move within whatever, they can interrupt you, right? Interrupts. I think the idea of like limited area interrupts, like I think the Locust has Quicksilver Strike, for example, from Wormblade. And it's if you move within 3 inches, X of whatever, then they are allowed to interrupt your activation and charge you and fight you, right? And your activation ends. That's an interrupt. A good opponent knows you can do that. So it's not even a gotcha, right? And if you have that ability, you should say to them, hey, I can do this, by the way, right? Cool. Everybody agrees with that. Nobody's saying you shouldn't tell your opponent your rules, okay? But I think there's a huge difference, and I've said this always. I've always said this, but maybe I'm wrong. There's a huge difference between I move my model. Oh, okay, I interrupt you. Oh, okay, I didn't want to do that then. No. You declared the move, so now I have to do this. You are interrupted. And saying, I move my model. Oh, okay, I'm going to interrupt you. Oh, no, I don't want to do that, actually. I didn't know you could interrupt. Oh, okay, that's fine. Move back. And then they make another move. Right? Because what you want your opponent to say, or is you want as the interrupter to have the best possible placement so that your opponent says, oh no, I don't want to get interrupted. But then they look at the board and they say, but there's actually nothing else for me to do. Or, and then maybe they let you interrupt them, or they do another move, but you have stopped them through your careful placement. You've stopped them from making the move that you needed them to not make. And therefore you win. And all you needed was the ability, but you didn't need to use the ability. Does that make sense? This is the same for 40k. So in 40k, you have an Overwatch ability. My understanding is that everybody in 40k plays it this way. You move, and then it's whatever. If you're within 24 inches, they can be Overwatch, right? And what you would do is you place your guys there within 23 inches, and they say, oh, I'm going to Overwatch you. It's like, oh, I didn't realize I was in range. I'll move back. And Overwatch isn't a gotcha. You're supposed to say, okay, go ahead and move back. You're not supposed to say, no, this is touch chess. You've taken your hand off of that squad. I'm going to shoot you, right? Because we all know that in any war game, the generic rule is, as long as a dice has not been rolled, you can always do a take back. That's the generic rule in every war game I've ever heard. It's only in Kill Team where everybody gets super anal about, oh, but I've got interrupts and like, oh, yeah. It's like, no. Everything is fluid. Everything can be changed until the dice is rolled. As soon as the dice is rolled, the game locks its state, in my opinion. But before that, you should let people do whatever, as many takebacks as they want, right? Obviously, you know, there are limits. But I believe that is how games should work. But I don't think Kill Team works that way. Yeah. So, although I think that games should work that way, I think I now accept that Kill Team is not designed to have takebacks. It feels like... the thing is, a lot of the interrupts for Kill Team, they're not just like at the activation, they're at the action. You know? So it's not like even within your action, you have your activation of one model, you have total fluidity. You've got 3 APL and you can move, dash, drop a point. But then you're like, oh, actually, I didn't want to do that. I'm going to roll it back. It's like, okay, fine. People want you to lock in your move as soon as you've taken your hand off of the model, right? And it's like, okay, I'm going to move, I'm going to dash, and I'm going to tap the point. Okay, I'm going to shoot you before you tap the point because I have an interrupt. It's like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. I'm going to move my model slightly to the side and stay concealed so you can't do that. It's like, oh, okay. Now my interrupt fails. I was like, anyway, you get it. But I am genuinely coming around to the fact that I think that the way Kill Team is designed is that you are supposed to know and remember every single rule in the game. I don't know if that's good or not. There you go. Okay. Who wants the second half of Typhon Box, though? Great question, Copycat. I imagine people that want to do dioramas of mechanical workshops for the Mechanicus, or like an administratum workshop. That'd be funky. Use the servitors to have quills instead. That'd be cool. I do not want Typhon. I hate Tyranids have no... What are you saying, Kaz? Like, what? I just don't even understand. I just can't connect with someone that says they don't like Tyranids. What are you saying? Nobody wants servitors, though. I understand that. I'm still in the box with a friend, and I'm getting the admech. You're getting the admech? What are you saying, bro? I can't even understand. There you go. It wrote itself. I apologize, yeah. It's awesome that you're into admech. Are you a 40k admech guy? That's my real question, though. Just sort of finished the first arbitrator. Tried to do that 90 more times. Ugh. Arbitrator? I know you're I know you were talking about exaction. Is there a guy called arbitrator? Oh. Arbites. Okay. Right. I get you. 38 kill teams rules include gotchas by default. Like last Christmas, I went up against a competitive Fast Orca Kimban and I got stomped because I had no idea how poach worked. Oh, yeah. And had 5 APO on the point. Yeah. And then you just have to kind of take it. I think poach is a really good example of gotcha. I had Brewster's minion down there do that to me. I didn't really care at the time because like, oh, okay, he can just tap the point without controlling it. Fine. Because it's a gotcha that doesn't hurt me, right? But you're right. If I've loaded up 3 guys on that point because I don't want him to be able to touch it, and then he says, oh, I just poach actually. It's like, that is a gotcha. But it's a gotcha that isn't like a fight first or something. So, you know. So I don't inherently think of it as a gotcha, but it is. Yeah. Classic Kroot bastards. Saw a Reddit post where OP was confused about gotchas being bad. They assumed they were worthless otherwise. They didn't seem to understand that gotchas are a deterrent. Well, see, that's the thing. I think top players and everybody online that talks about Kill Team views gotchas as not a deterrent. They are a thing. Like, they are a thing that is supposed to happen, you know? Unless I've misunderstood what you said, of course. But, yeah. Chatting with another potential KT player in my area. Oh no, he wants to go with AOD. Durin, AOD are strong. They're going to wreck you. But they're Space Marines. Genuinely, I've said this before, but when I think of Kill Team, one of the teams on one side of the board has to be a Space Marine team. Otherwise, I don't even know what the game is. And whenever I'm looking at stats, I'm thinking, what does this model have to do to kill a Space Marine? And that is the only way I think about kill team. So some people look at, let's say, Hand of the Archon and say, oh, these guys are pretty strong, actually. You know, like, pretty good melee. And I'm looking at them like, but I'm going to have dual or aggressive. I don't care if you've got rending. Like, what? Who cares? I don't care if you hit me for 4 damage. You know? I kill you in 2. So, yeah. But of course, you know, not AOD, sorry. Hand of the Archon are strong into 8 wound teams. Really good. But I think about AOD. Every other player goes with AOD. 100%, yes. Yes. The other player goes with Plague Marines. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. Alright. True, very true. Yeah. Guys, they're the starter teams. We really can't blame people for playing the starter teams. I know we want to, but we can't. I play VD and Warp Coven. Oh, Power Wolfen. Oh, dear. But I always tell my opponents what to look out for. Even on tournaments, I remind my opponent that they should be mindful of traps I have laid and how to avoid them. So, good. I mean, that's what you have to do, right? You have to remind people, hey, this is a thing, blah, blah, blah. But you also got to say, oh, hey, you know, just so you know, I've got a few things I can do. And they say, oh, okay. All I'm saying is there's such a subtle difference between what can you do and what are you going to do next, right? Because it's another one like, whatever. If you ever measure to the center point or the center line in Kill Team, you're kind of giving away your game plan, right? As soon as you measure to that center point or to the center, oh, I'm just, you know, just randomly measuring a 3-inch radius around the center point. Don't worry about it. Doesn't mean anything. It's like, they now know what you're doing, you know? So I think that gotchas are relatively fluid in that sense. Because, again, a top player should know your archetypes and know what you could be doing. And guess from your positioning what you're going for, right? If you ever leave a model on the center line and you know that team has security, you kind of have to assume that kind of thing, you know? Yeah. But as soon as somebody measures to the center, you're like, oh, yeah, okay. All right, I know what's happening. But then, what if you measure to the center and you don't have it and you're trying to screw with them? Is that fun or is that a dick move? With friends, that sounds hilarious, to be clear. But in a tournament, that sounds like a bit of a dick move, I think. I think that is a dick move in a tournament scenario, yeah. But then, am I saying you can never measure to the center? No, of course, you can measure whatever you want. Interesting. Interesting. The thing with takebacks is that when I do them, it's fair and justified. But when my opponent does it, it's unjustifiable power. I sympathize, I empathize, I vibe with that statement. I've often said anyone that has ever beaten me at Kill Team is an absolute sweat lord, you know, like loser, no life gamer. And anybody that I've ever beaten is an absolute scrub that needs to like stop playing because they're so bad. You know? That's my view. That's my view. So true, bestie. Servitors would be useful to have around the house, though, for taking skirting. Yes. I feel like the plasterboard behind might take a little bit of the brunt of the blow of that power claw. But yes, I'd buy one. Do you buy servitors? Don't know. We don't get to see enough casual hab work of what level of servitors. That'd be quite a fun little visual of have like a modern, you know, house, you know, all nice and white and all like nice and roomy, and everything looks normal for us, right? You know, a little bit sci-fi, and then you have a servitor, and like everything's nice and quiet and like low power and you know very sleek, and then you have a servitor on like track wheels, like slowly crump through the kitchen, smashing like a table out the way on like tracked wheels and spurting oil and blood all over the place, and everyone just stands around like it's totally normal and just continue talking. I think that'd be quite an amusing thing for Warhammer there. There you go. Somebody can do that. I'm the idea guy. I'm not the do guy, you know. Someone else has worked through 20 Arbites, as you have to do, because who knows? Because that's not a one-box team. Imperial Agents Combat Patrol truly is the... Yes, very true, very true. It's a good one. The thing with Poach is you commit earlier in the turn, so you can't really rewind the clock. I have to find out what Poach is now. Do you? Do you have to elect it? I might not even know what Poach is. Use 5 during friendly activation. Until the end of that activation, that operative doesn't have to control a marker from the pickup marker or mission actions that usually require this. That's still a gotcha. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about there, mate. Smoking the crack, mate. That's still a gotcha. In 40k competitive, we play a lot by intent. Oh yeah, you can't play a war game without playing by intent. I'm 100%. And asked a lot of questions before moving a model to try to avoid gotchas. Still a lot of information to process. Yeah, you know, I've said it before, but in some how to avoid gotchas tips or whatever video, but yeah, you have to play by intent. Because otherwise somebody will say, oh, you're 1mm out, so I can shoot you, you know? But if you had just said before, you say, oh, I'm within an inch of this, by the way. I say, okay, that's it. No feels bads at all, then. In base 40k, I play DG, AM, and Orcs, and KTR, I play anything that isn't town. Yeah, okay. Oh, that's interesting, then. So I haven't seen much love for the AdMech. The only person that I've seen say they like AdMech was... oh, I can't remember his name. He's a hobby guy. It's not Travarian. I think he has the number 52 in his name. But, yes, Bruce. Yeah. My intent... I play by intent. My intent is to win. Yeah. Yeah, called like something 52, I think, and he was just doing a review of the Typhon releases, and I was like, oh cool, I'll watch this because I've just done my Typhon video, let's see what he's saying. And he said he didn't really like the Raveners, which I was like, fair enough, you know, I get it. They are a little bit of a design step away from Tyranids, so it's not for everybody. But he said very casually and just didn't elaborate at all, you know, dropped the mic and walked off and did something else. He said, but I know a lot of people love AdMech, they're the more popular team. I was like, what? That's just factually the dumbest thing I've ever heard, because Tyranids are actually a popular faction. AdMech are like a super niche faction in 40k that, as far as we can tell, don't sell much. And so to just kind of casually say something that, to my view, is the opposite, I was like, what? Yeah. So it's always interesting to see how other people view releases and things like that. For sure, I have made I mean, I haven't talked about Typhon much, obviously, because we've had one reveal, so what else can I say? But I do try, and I started this with Blood and Zeal. I make a very deliberate attempt to not be negative about a team that I don't like, because for some people that's their team, right? And just because I don't care about it doesn't mean that it's a bad team. And so if I were to, you know, spend 5 minutes saying, oh, I love the Raveners, I love this, I love that, and spend an equal amount of time talking about the AdMech, saying, oh, these guys suck, these are terrible, blah, blah, blah. somebody that liked the AdMech is at the very least going to stop watching the video or be pissed off in general, and like it's like, oh, no, I don't want to do that. It might not be for me. I think the problem is I did want better. I hypothetically like the AdMech, but there's just so much they could have done with AdMech, like a new AdMech unit. World's your oyster. They have so many cool units, and like there's so much scope to play with AdMech, and they just did servitors, and it's like, oh. I felt like they scraped the bottom of the barrel with the AdMech. That's all. It's not that I dislike them. It's like it's the lowest thing they could have done. I was like, oh, okay, fine, I guess. Yeah, it's more that. It's more like they could have done a cool new infiltrator kit, or they could have done like this. All that. You get it. All right, moving on. Servitors as like some dudes in the team, cool. Servitors as the entire team, weird. Yeah, weird. Blades versus Phobos is always a fun time. I haven't played Blades of Cain in ages. I should probably play Blades of Cain again. I do enjoy them. Newest interaction I've seen is the Galapox Infected Technicus Virovox static. APL cannot be added into Wrecker Crew. Oh yeah, nice. Okay. Luckily, Galapox are like the least played team, so that won't be around for too long. But yeah, when will you make a sheet with a comprehensive overview of Gotcha? Probably never, if I had to guess. I've already done a bunch of videos where I complain about Gotchas in Kill Team and how to stop them and blah blah blah, and I feel like if I keep talking about it, then it's like, that's great, Andy, but the game is gotchas, right? Like, you just have to get used to it. Just deal with it. There you go. That's the only way it can do. And so the only thing you can do, I don't think a comprehensive, well, I mean, to be clear, that is what my gotcha guides were supposed to be. But, I think that you have to just trust on your opponent to tell you your gotchas, kind of. And if they're not going to do that, it's going to be a sucky game anyway, so. Don't mind me measuring here, it's nothing. Right, yeah, indeed. My problem is not AOD and Space Marines. My problem is 7 out of 10 players in my area are playing own. Oh, okay, June. Alright, okay. Yeah, fair play. So I had assumed, because you're in Sweden, that, like, just people weren't playing Kill Team near you. But alright, everyone plays AOD. Yes, true. They need an Administratum Tycoon game. I'd play that. That'd be really fun. Yeah. Poach will grab Secure, Sabotage, and more. Indeed. The ultimate gotcha. Your opponent will have moved on to the point, maybe even last turning point, thinking they were blocking the point, and it's to... Oh, I see what you mean. I thought that you as the far stalker player had to pre-announce it. I was like, no, you don't. But you're right. Yeah. They would have already locked into that move. Yes, sure. Earlier in the game, at least. Yeah. Yes, I see. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Play by intent. So play by intent, I assume that at this point somebody's already explained it, but play by intent is that when you move somewhere, you tell somebody why you're moving there. So a very good example is that if you move up to a barricade, and there's a thing, let's not say that, and you want to be just within an inch of the barricade, so that you've got cover from it. You make that move, and you're just there, so you're quite far away from the barricade. Like, let's 0.99.1 of an inch, right? Like you're really far away from the barricade when it comes to how big an inch. It's all relative, obviously, right? But then somebody comes along and measures it, and actually you're 0.1 of a mil over that inch. They're correct, and you're like, oh, that was a mistake. I meant to be just within an inch, not just over an inch. I was like, well, that's great, but you moved, and we moved on with the rest of the game, and now because you didn't explain your intent, they are correct. Because just physically, you're not there. Eddie, thank you. Have a good one, my man. See you next week, probably. I think, yes. I'm going to have a Monday off soon, but I think I am here next week. So, intent to crush, yes. Winstonuta. One of the worst parts of a rules-heavy team is 7 minutes of trying to summarize. But if I don't mention it, I'll feel bad doing it. I get that. I think, so as a player, what you should do is understand your team, obviously, and you know if you have gotchas. And I think what you should do is have a cue card, basically, with your gotchas. It could just be the name. It could just be number 1, whatever, poach, full stop, can take your stuff regardless of APL on point. Something like that, right? And just hand it to your opponent. You don't even have to say them. And then it's up to your opponent to read or not read. But you have literally given them your rules. And it can be, 3 things? Done. And if they need to look at your card on their time every turn, that's fine. I think that's the way to go. Yeah. APL mod negation is common now. Nemclaw, Mandrake, Dirtmore. Is it? I think. It's not that common. I love Admech, mate. Back in the 2000s, I was smashing Cadians onto high off Archer robe legs to go make tech garb before Skatari even had a name that served as a long overdue TBH. So, don't get me wrong. New services are cool. New anything is cool for Admech. They're a relatively limited range. But just of all the things they could have done, honestly, I probably would have rather preferred either a new tech priest unit or a new, or sorry, not tech priest, but like the Corpuscari, the electro priests. New, electro priests or new Sicarians, or just a new thing, right? But yeah, I don't know. It feels like a bit of a waste to do a kill team as a resculpt of old models that have gone out of stock, right? Like, give us something cool. Anyway, whatever. And Sanctifiers, of course, yes. Units of Tech Priests would have been better, but this is how we get services, so be it. Oh yeah, sure. If it's as low as it gets, we can only go up from there. Yes, I suppose, yeah. The next Admech team in 6 years is going to be a banger, I've no doubt. They could have gone with Electro Priest, yep. And I'm back. Did you miss me? Of course, Grumpage, I did. How could I not? I'm almost done. We're almost done, but I'm catching up with chat. So, 3k of Admech, my only army. Oh, okay. That's bold. That is bold. 3k of Admech is firstly expensive, but also interesting. And your only army for 40k, that is quite the take. Do you play or just hobby? Oh, the Codex was underwhelming. You play. Okay. With only the Stiltman as a new unit. Oh, yes. What's his name? It's not Stiltman. Although that's a good second name for someone. Ah, Stiltman. You're here. Good. He's the... it's gone. I can't remember. I just painted him. Then killed him. Meh. Can't wait for the Mechanicum 2 soundtrack. Yeah, it's going to be sweet. I'm looking forward to... I will say I'm looking forward to Mechanicus 2 because you can play Necrons. And don't get me wrong, I like Admech for the weird Imperium thing that they are, but I do prefer Necrons. I must bid you all Scattercross. He's a Scattercross. The way I'm pronouncing that sounds wrong. That's probably not right, but that's what he is. Good night to Kaz as well. Lovely. I'm moving here, so I will be 9.1 inches away from this person. Saves model. Yes, exactly, Rumbage. Yes, for sure. Yes. Yeah, that is another good example. And I know you get that in 40k as well. You say, hey, how far can you charge? Like, discussing threat ranges is a big thing. Oh, I've done Warcraft. No, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, I'm staying on the Mechanicus vibes today. There you go. Yeah. So I know that threat ranges, like measuring threat ranges, is a big thing, and say, hey, you know, what's your average charge distance here? Okay, I'll be over that, and then so if you move there, and then charge, you'll need this to charge, right? Okay, cool, and then you'll lock that in, sort of thing. So yeah. I don't know what TTFN means. Talk to, take to. No, you've lost me on that one, Bruce. Okay, but fair enough. Hello, looks like a little bit late there, Eric. A little bit late there, unfortunately. Yes, I am wrapping up. I'll try and figure out what on earth is going on with why I'm having artifacts constantly. Isn't Typhon coming with a few Hormagaunts? Not for this. Yes, that's right. So in the Typhon reveal, we're getting the Raveners, but then additionally we're getting terrain, and we're getting a sprue of Raveners. And on the Hormagaunts, and on the Hormagaunt sprue there are 2 bases of Rippers as well. So we know that. That's all confirmed, 100%. 100%. Oh, Tartar for now, right. Top 10 Fortnite, yeah. Yes, I saw that there was leagues in Mechanicus, and I was confused. But you know what? Although I think that's weird, I'm a big believer that a good game or alternative media can push model sales, and so it might be that this is what the Votann need. You know? I mean, look, Mechanicus isn't going to be Space Marine 2, right? It's not going to be that level of popularity. It's still a very niche game in the grand scheme of things. Like when Mechanicus released, it didn't set the world ablaze, right? It's a good game with some really good artwork and media in it, obviously, but I really didn't hear much about it outside of Warhammer circles. Unlike Space Marine 2, where everybody and their mums played it, right? But inside the Warhammer circles is what actually matters. And maybe it will lead to more League love. League lovin's, as they say. And hopefully it will coincide with a new army drop, or, you know, the second half of the army that they need for League, and suddenly you got yourself a stew going, you know? That'd be good. Campaign select screen's the hardest level. I like it. Yeah. Best of vibes, you do notice your little disc on the arm in a vid. Yes, sir. Yes. Hope that I was going well. Tartar for now. Tartar to you too, my good sir. Thank you. I've got the Beatus under control for now. Do I? Yeah. I almost died a few months ago. Because turns out you gotta have some carbs on you, Jesus Christ, otherwise you will die. I didn't know it was that serious. I almost died. Whoops. But we live and learn. I had a Kit Kat in my backpack, and that literally saved my life. So there you go. That would have been a really dumb way to die. Oh well. Any more stage time for Votann is good. I haven't read the book. I hear the book isn't great. Have you guys read the book? I should probably go to bed, but if anybody has read the book, do let me know. I'm quite excited for the Corsair book releasing, actually. I will throw that out there. Because there hasn't been like a good Eldar book for a while, and they did the whole Ynnari storyline with whoever it was, Gav Thorpe or somebody, and like it really feels like Eldar died after that. Like nobody, like, so I have to assume it sold poorly, and then everyone's like, oh, okay, we're not going to do Eldar now, which is crazy. But it's what it is. Because we've had like every other Xenos faction come in and like be good, be a thing, you know, and then Eldar just nowhere, you know, such great characters in the Eldar, just nothing. Anyway, whatevs. So I'm excited for the Corsair book. Yes, I play. I may not much longer, depending on 11th edition. If it stinks, I'm selling it all. Oh no. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, so I'm not really playing 10th. I played a month ago. I played a 2K game. It was good fun. I enjoyed it. But it's because I'm playing it at such a weirdly casual level where I don't really know the game or the rules that I can make it fun almost regardless of the game. But yeah. You know, you've always got to watch out for new editions. I find new editions really hard. Like swapping to 2024 Kill Team was harder than swapping from 2018 to 2021. Even though it was a significantly simpler change, you know, because because 2018 to 21 was just a new game, so there was no carryover of knowledge or expectation. But 21 to 24, suddenly it's like, well, glass, just, it's called saturate instead of no cover. Just, you know, it's called seek instead of, I can't remember what it used to be called. Yeah, I've got no clue. But it was like, this is stupid. I'll never remember this. There's so many small changes that is, yeah, there you go. Very difficult. Did it have cultural impact? I really haven't seen Mechanicus talked about outside of Warhammer circles, if I'm honest. But it was a while ago now, so who knows. Bought the original Votan box, we needed Dreadnought and a few more units. Yeah, for sure. You're never going to fly because GW doesn't like flyers anymore. But yeah, you just need more stuff. Yeah, 100%. That opening trailer popped off. Book was good. Divining Infinite was a great Necron book. I know that everybody loves. So on Audible, I have re-downloaded Infinite and the Divine, and I'm going to listen to it again because everybody said it was like their favorite book ever, and I was like, it was fine. So maybe I just wasn't paying attention the first time. I will re-listen to kind of finally convince, either say, yeah, okay, all right, I just wasn't paying attention the first time, or say, no, this sucked. Like, or it was fine. It wasn't anything special. Everybody else is on crack. A solid 4 out of 5. Okay, lots of world building, but I had to listen to some chapters twice from the figure to figure out the Votan naming of things. Okay. Well, I guess you got to build that world, right? If 11th edition has new and good combat patrol with alternating... Hey, anything's possible. Except 40k going to alternating activations. To be clear, anything in the world is possible except that, you know? Votan book was good for going to sleep too, which I thought was a resounding compliment. Yeah, fair. Don't sell you on wins out of frustration. New edition will be out and models always increase in value. Indirect, yeah. I liked indirect. Why seek? Doesn't matter. Yes. I would double down on what Grindbridge says there. Don't sell your minis. I've done that recently when I moved house. I hadn't played 40k, I decided I didn't like it, and then I needed to move, and the less I could have in my house to have to store, the better. I didn't know how much, blah, blah, blah. And I will say that I regret selling every army I sold. There you go. Every single army I wish I still had. So now, in my house, I have a loft. Every army is going straight into the loft. And I'm going to have a 6-year rule, right? So 2 editions. If I don't touch that box for 2 editions, I'll sell it. But if I touch that box at all, if I play the game within 6 years, so 2 editions, that's money. That's money in the bank. There you go. Unless you need the money, of course, in which case, fair play. I will buy your AdMech from you. There you go. Yeah, you have normal people say, I won't actually. Unless they are specifically the colour of my AdMech, in which case I will. Which is blue, brass, and red base. I can base it myself. It's fine. Blue and brass. Yeah, you have normal people saying, from the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh now. Do you? I feel like the word normal people might be doing a lot of heavy lifting there. The weakness of my Fletcher audio pops up. Does it? Okay. Maybe. I feel like those are still Warhammer players. And just there are Warhammer players outside of Warhammer. I don't know. Anyway, everybody, we've been smashing it hardcore, hitting it from the back 24/7. Or when I say 24/7, I mean 2 hours and 10 minutes. So we're going to stop now. Thanks for watching. If you made it to the end of the video, I'd like to give you a big triple hello. Wow, wasn't that wholesome? Truly the wholesomeness knows no bounds in the world of Glass Half Dead. Thanks for watching. I will see you next Friday, Monday. And hopefully, we won't be getting this artifacting, which is weird. Really ruining my pretty privilege. As you know. Thanks for watching, everybody. I will see you in a video about what the next kill team is going to be. Ooh, big rumors. On Wednesday. And then something else. I don't know. On Friday. And then the week after that, what the next kill zone is going to be. So I've got to spread these things out, Being a constant content treadmill is hard work. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good one. Good night. Sleep tight.